We actually came from Mars.
What?
It explains everything. Just think about it.
No, you
No,
go. No, right. And Ryan is fighting today.
I'm not fighting.
He is fighting.
Yeah. No. It's fine.
Everyone in this room that wants Ryan to do the alien language again, say I. There's an inner Martian within him that he doesn't want to let out.
We all do.
The film's writers were not sure what the Martians should sound like, so its scripts used ACK exclamation mark ack.
Yeah, ack. Jack Nicholson is such a classic.
Do you know he played 2 characters in this movie?
It was that guy with the cowboy hat. Jack Nicholson's got this thing. He's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Where are we
so
going?
you'll do a Jack Nicholson impression, but you won't do
Yeah.
a Martian impression.
Yeah, because look at him. Watch. That's a Jack Nicholson thing right there.
If you know anything about actors' contracts, if you watch movies with The Rock and Jason
I
Statham,
was just about to say.
no one wins the fight
Yeah.
because of actor
Because of
contracts.
We need a contract like that in life. I wonder what it must have been like for editors who remember editing on film and sitting there with the splicing
They would
tool.
have to wear the white coats,
Oh, man.
didn't they?
Tedious editing.
Because they were dealing with the film and chemicals.
Can't get fingerprints on it. Wonder how many editors out there like messed up some big director's movie by accident by putting your finger or miscut.
And movies do have. Okay, guys, we need to mess it up. Then someone's like, I think I just
cut the frame out.
oops.
How you doing?
What's up? This is the movie show.
On Active TV.
I'm Sash.
My name's Ryan.
And Ryan is fighting today.
I'm not fighting.
He is fighting.
Yeah,
Because he has an inner Martian within him that he doesn't want to let out.
we all do.
No, we don't. I can't do the sound effect
We were
that you
all
can
aliens once upon a time, people.
do. Let's just do what?
Yeah, we actually came from Mars. It explains everything. Just think about it. If you've seen this movie, you will agree with me. But we're doing the movie show right now.
Okay, let's do a comparison. Ryan, I want to do a comparison. Let's see how close Ryan does the alien's language to the actual alien. So you're gonna go,
Is
and
this
then we're
you
gonna
trying
put
to get me to do this?
No, I just want to show our lovely audience that you are actually
No.
very good at this.
No.
Ready?
Anybody's
okay,
good at that.
you go, and then we'll play the thing.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
2,
I'm gonna
1.
train everybody how to do this.
Okay,
so
there we go.
Picture. Imagine in your mind the sound of a duck. Quack, quack, quack. Now just keep doing it. Faster.
And remove the cue.
And then just change the pitches.
Go.
And
No, you
no.
go. No, Ryan.
Just take my recording from earlier. That's fine.
We don't have a recording. from
Okay. No. It's fine.
Everyone in this room that wants Ryan to do the alien language again, say I.
I don't fall to social proofing. It doesn't.
We are democracy here, Ryan. This is not social whatever.
Yeah?
Go.
Well,
I told you Ryan wants to fight today.
Yeah.
I told you.
It'll come.
It'll come
Yeah.
at some point in the
Let's
show.
continue.
You'll just start.
So we're doing Mars
Okay.
Attacks.
Talking
Tim
about
Burton.
so yes, Tim Burton marathon continuation.
Yeah.
This film was 1990.
I don't know. 90s somewhere in the 90s.
I know he had already done
96, wasn't it?
I think it
Or something
I
else
think
in
it was
96.
96. So before this, he had already done Ed Wood, because when I was watching interviews
Yeah.
with Tim Burton, a lot of them mentioned like Ed Wood. And then I know that he had already done Beetlejuice and he had already done Edward Scissorhand.
Yeah.
But actually talking about the aliens language.
And
so
this is an old film.
yeah, it's a very,
Yeah.
very, very old film. I was actually wondering like what caused them to like go with that. And apparently the film's writers were not sure what the Martians should sound like. So its scripts used literally ACK exclamation mark ack. So ack. Say it.
Ack.
No, not like an Afrikaans person.
Ack. Which means I. Yeah.
So basically there for all of their lines of dialogue, they kind of just put the placeholder of that in. And then this became the actual language in the
Oh,
film.
cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In all future Mars Attacks merchandise and media.
Ack. Yes. That's cool. Yes, it's very strange. Very. So, did you find that this film was very outside of Tim Burton's usual art style, artistic
Yeah, I did. Personally, I
or
did.
art style?
If I had to draw up a list of Tim Burton films from personally my favorite, from my most like my favorite to my least favorites, this one would probably be closer to the bottom. I'm not gonna say it's my least favorite yet because Edward is there because I don't agree with that whole but this one. And there's nothing wrong with this film. Like, I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with the film. I think the way Tim Burton did this film made this film a success. Because I think if anyone else had tried to do this film, I don't know if they would have gotten it right like Tim Burton got it right. Because at the end of the film, even though I was just like, this thing was so stupid.
It was.
But I was still like, you know, when you're like, well, at least, you know, like the way he...
Sure.
Yeah, it was still like, yeah, but it's a Tim Burton film. So it's still like...
He pulled it off.
He pulled it off.
Yeah, he
did pull it off. And what's crazy about this film is the cast that he got involved in it. Because like in fact, first problem, most of the characters in this movie die. Now, if you know anything about actors' contracts, there are contracts stipulating that, for example, like you can't kill a character, an actor in a film. They don't want that actor to have the image of dying on screen. Which is something Tim Burton's very good or known for, is he doesn't care about actors' images. For him, it's this is the story, this is what we're doing, either be a part of the movie or don't. So like we saw that with Johnny Depp and Edward Scissorhand. Johnny Depp, the studio didn't want people to see him in costume because they were just like, no, we're ruining Johnny Depp's image. But I mean, it's part of what made Edward Scissorhand what it is. But then also like contracts will say like Ryan can't be beaten up in a film, or if there's a fight scene in the film, Ryan can only receive literally the contracts are as stupid as this. He can only he can't lose, so or he can only receive a certain amount of like punches that like hurt. So like if you watch movies with The Rock and Jason Statham,
I was just about to say,
no one wins the fight.
Yeah.
Because of actor contracts.
We need a contract like that in life. Imagine a contract like that in life.
Stipulating insurance.
Yeah.
Insurance for life situations.
Can't be
for
bumped.
losses in life.
Can't be bumped twice.
Life. Okay. If we go along. Yeah, so the one thing that was cool about this was you had people like Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito.
It was good to see him, eh?
Yes, like all of these people, and spoiler alert, they like most of them die. Their characters die.
Jack Nicholson is such a classic.
Yeah, and he really enjoys Tim Burton.
I would imagine so.
He really he apparently like in fact when Tim Burton told him about this film, he signed on before reading the script. And do you know he played 2 characters in this movie?
It was that guy with the cowboy hat, wasn't it?
Jack Nicholson played 2 big
bothering
characters.
Me.
Also,
it was bugging me. I was
like, I know this guy.
I'm like, it's him, but it's not him. But it's him.
Yeah,
but
he
it's
literally
not him.
played the American president and that cowboy that was creating that Martian hotel in Las Vegas.
Because of his smile. You just knew it. He's like, Jack Nicholson's got this thing. He's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Where are we
so
going?
you'll do a Jack Nicholson impression, but you won't do a Martian impression.
Yeah, because, ack. I just knew it. And of course, I think the cowboy guy was always wearing like glasses.
Yeah, and he had a wig on as well, so you couldn't really...
Look at him. Watch. That's a Jack Nicholson thing right there.
Yeah. So previously, Jack Nicholson had worked on Batman with Tim Burton, and then they came.
He was the Joker.
Yes, he was the
Joker. It's very like the President. When you watch the President, it's that same kind. In fact, it's almost. I feel like it's the cowboy and the President in one.
Oh, is it? I haven't personally watched that Batman.
He's just got this big smile on his face.
I'm a lot happier.
In fact, in the Batman film, which we spoke about before, like because it's Tim Burton, it's got that Tim Burton touch. The Joker's teeth like fall out, and they got.
Oh, that makes sense. That's a very Tim Burton thing.
Yeah, and then he's just got blood, and he's like.
Tim Burton likes removing body parts from people and having them as like a character.
He's got a habit.
Like even in this film, there were body parts that like. Yeah. That was weird. Now they put Jessica Sarah Parker's head on a dog.
on the dog on the.
That was just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not just talking about the cast. So you have Jack Nicholson, you have Danny DeVito,
Yeah.
you have Annette Bening, who is she's a well-known, I know recently she's not a very well-known actress, but she's well-known. Jack Black, a young Jack Black was in it. You
Wait,
know,
what?
He was the soldier, the first soldier.
I knew it.
Yep.
I knew
Black.
it, but I didn't know it.
Yep.
I was just like, nah.
Glenn Close played
cool.
the American president's wife. She's Cruella. Most people will know her as the original Cruella. You had Pierce Brosnan in it. He played James Bond.
And they also did some weird stuff.
Yeah,
too,
they
wasn't
did
it?
weird stuff with him.
Yeah.
You had Michael J. Fox.
That was cool to see, though.
That was cool to see.
I was really glad
but
to see it.
do you know that with him? So he had been suffering from symptoms of Parkinson's disease slowly, but it started steadily increasing in severity for several years by the time this film was underway. His struggle with the disease are apparent during the scene where the Martians first attack. He can be seen experiencing moderate tremors in some shots. The filmmakers were able to integrate this into the film, and it basically just made it look like his character Jason Stone was fearful by the sight of the Martians, but that was actually symptoms of Parkinson's disease, which is crazy. And this was one of the last films that he'd been in. He did do a couple of series after this, but recently they did a Michael J. Fox documentary, and that's the next film that he's been in. He hasn't been in a film since this film in I think 1996. So yeah,
because he is quite a rememberable, especially
because of Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Yeah. Then Natalie Portman, you had a young Natalie Portman.
Oh, yeah.
Martin Short was in the film. I didn't recognize him. He was so young. Then eventually I was doing research and I was like, oh, I knew his face. So he's in it. And then Sarah Jessica Parker's in it as well. And then this one, we did discuss this in our previous show, Beetlejuice, but Lisa Marie, who is Elvis Presley's daughter, she was in this film.
I wonder why.
Yeah, and her and Tim Burton at the time were dating. But she was the Martian girl. And I was actually really impressed with her acting. She did a good job, though. Like, she didn't look human-like. She really didn't look human. Like, she didn't blink in any shots.
There was something off about her.
Yeah. And then to make her costume as smooth as possible, it had no zippers or buttons on it. So she had to be sewn into her costume, her dress, every day before filming her scenes.
She didn't really have that much, did she?
Well, no, it was just that scene where she
like
attacks the White House. Yeah. But I mean, they would have filmed it over a couple of days. It wouldn't have been one scene.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So imagine when they took it off and snip it off.
But she did a very good job. I thought even I was finished. So she had this weird, like, she walked almost like she was being controlled, which was clever. But then there was a point where she's walking and she's fallen behind Martin Short's character. And then she does the speed walk where she but it actually was scary. Like, I was like, yeah, like, imagine turning around and you see this person coming towards you like that. But she did, because that was her acting.
Yeah.
So no, I think she did a very, very, very good job. Yeah. She apparently was also in Ed Wood. We didn't watch Ed Wood. We didn't watch it fully, but she was. I saw in behind the scenes footage that she was actually also in that film. Yeah. So.
Hey.
And then this I thought was very cool. So you know the Martians, whenever they shot people, the laser was either red or green.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So at the time, I think this film came out around Christmas time. So that's why Tim Burton did that. And then depending on what laser shot you, your skeleton would then turn that color. So you had green and red skeletons in the film. But now, if you go back to the original Beetlejuice, in some scenes, you can see green skeletons. Which, you know how in Beetlejuice, how you die is how you end up looking in the afterlife?
Hey, don't get lasered, people.
I was like, oh, that's cool. So like he even tied it back to Beetlejuice, where like Martians came and attacked Earth, and this is how these people died.
It's a Tim Burton universe.
That is a Tim Burton's films. I feel like they're all connected.
What are you doing? What are you up to?
Yeah.
He's building himself.
And then the last person I wanted to mention from the cast was Sylvia Sidney. Now she was the grandma. She was very good though. And I recognized her.
That's-
I couldn't put my finger on her. I was like, I know
wait.
this woman.
Yeah, me too. I was also
Do you know
like,
where do you know where you
No.
know her from?
Where?
She was in Beetlejuice, the first one. She was the consult. You know, they went and she was the first person to tell them don't call on
what?
Beetlejuice. Yes, this was her final film because she.
I was about to say
yeah,
she's
she-
old, right?
I don't know if she's alive. I don't think she's alive
No.
anymore. Let me check.
She was just this sweet old lady.
That was slightly crazy.
Dementia.
Yeah, shame. But she was funny.
It's Tom, Mom. Yes, I know, Howard.
Let me just find her.
Looking for her name.
Sylvia Sydney. There, I'm
Mm.
searching Sydney.
Isn't she there somewhere?
I can't find her in the.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's just search her
probably
name.
unrecognizable
Yeah.
or further down.
But
that
I don't
line.
think she's alive. I'm pretty sure she died after this.
No, she was.
film?
She. Yeah. Look. Even if you look at her.
died
pictures,
1st of July 1999. So this was her
99.
last. Yeah, she was actually very beautiful.
Wow.
And her voice, she had a very
Mm.
distinct voice.
Yes.
Like, what other films was she in? She was in Beetlejuice. She was in a film in 1937. So,
You must
yeah.
know. 37.
and she was one of the main actresses in it. Yeah, it's all old films.
Oh, look,
An American
Mars Attacks.
Tragedy,
She was in Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks. I'm trying to see something we would know.
Nope.
Yeah.
We know Mars
This is like a completely different.
universe.
Yeah, it's like
She's from a whole different era.
Merrily We Go to Hell.
Mm. A lot of this looks like those olden films. Probably those
Yeah.
films that you had on film reel, you know.
Yeah,
Put
like
it in
the
and-
12 Angry Men or
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Orson Welles. What's
Hmm?
that movie called?
Hmm?
The guy, the black and white movie, other black and white movie. No,
Mm.
anyone? No, it's gone.
Mm-mm. Was she in Edward?
No.
No.
Orson Welles. You know the character Orson Welles?
I know faces. I know names.
We've only done 2 black and white movies on the movie show.
Really?
At 12 Angry Men
In the whole history of the movie,
yes.
most probably when you say it, I'll be like, oh yeah.
I'll go
Sorry,
search
guys.
it. Yeah. Yeah, so
The tw-
what was interesting about Mars Attacks was the fact that it was, I think personally, I stand to be corrected. Oh wait, no. Alice in Wonderland is probably Tim Burton's heaviest CG film. Because that was mainly
Yeah.
filmed on green screen. But I'd say before that, this would have been his heaviest. And the reason they did it was because to cut costs.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So they cut like 30. They cut I think 30 million off
He-
the budget by.
He could have done it. So in other words, are you saying that?
I remembered. I
It's-
didn't remember. I found the film.
All right, it is.
Citizen Kane.
I remember doing that film now. I told you. That's what I said.
Wow. Sorry, you were saying ILM were involved in the CG.
Of course they were.
Of course they were. It was 1996.
Come on, people.
The glorious year of 1996.
Yes, I remember that year. It was a good year.
I don't remember that year because I was not on Earth.
96.
I was not on
Oh,
Earth in
damn.
96.
It was a good year.
Was it?
I remember in class writing it in my paper.
Really? You remember watching this movie probably in 96.
Yeah, we watched this a lot. I remember watching this more
This
than
is
once.
the first time I've watched this
Mm.
movie. I have never seen this film before.
I wonder if it was on DVD or if it was on cassette tape, VHS.
It probably went to VHS.
But-
No, it was definitely on VHS.
But how did I watch it over? I think that was back in the day with Mnet, with the decoder and the little.
You sure it wasn't
back in the
VHS?
day. Wow, sure, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to remember
Yes,
the
people,
sound.
we are that age that we used to watch movies on VHS tapes. Yes, and then you could double click on rewind and it would rewind faster. Or was that the newer devices? You know what I'm talking about? So you could press
So
rewind.
while it's playing, right?
No. So you press rewind once and it starts rewinding.
So
Then if you pressed it a second time, it sped up.
So
Or was
she-
that newer technology?
That's only Final Cut.
No, I'm not.
It's only Final Cut.
I told you Ryan wants
Ask
to
the
fight
people.
today. Not ask the people. This is my memory.
Okay.
This is my childhood.
I
This is
apologize.
my freaking childhood.
It's not just Final Cut. It's also in Premiere. They also do the same. And in DaVinci, they do the same as
I'm
well.
gonna get up and walk out of the studio. Ryan, I had a VHS device recorder. In fact, we used to record. This was
yeah.
before the day of Showmax. If we weren't home and we like wanted to see a show, you would set the timer on the did you do that?
Right.
On the VHS tape that it would
To
start
record your
recording
show.
at this time, and then you just make sure it's on the
Yeah.
right channel, and then it would record. But it
Damn.
would suck when something went wrong and it didn't record. Like
You had to-
maybe you forgot to rewind
Or
to
you
the
pull
beginning
it out,
of
and
the
then you
tape.
have to sit and fix the tape up again.
Yeah, but that's how we used to record
even
shows.
VHS. Yeah.
We used to on the
I actually
tape.
remember it now because I remember the sound. Like you press play.
Thank you,
and then it
Ryan.
goes,
Exactly, and then it would speak. Yes. Wow. Good old days. Those are the good old days, you know, like the 90s. All the kids born before the year 2000. Remember those days.
Yes.
Now, yeah.
Well, you know, Final Cut.
Final Cut. Yeah, they just updated the technology. You see, it's because someone who watched on a VHS tape made
They got
Final Cut.
frustrated.
So that they made Final Cut.
Oh.
So they were like, guys, don't you want to put that double recording thing? What if we press it 3 times? It goes even faster. They're like, oh, and then they're like, oh, listen to.
I wonder what it must have been like for guy. Like there are people out there who remember editing on film and sitting there with the splicing.
They would
tool.
have to wear the white coats,
Oh man,
didn't they?
tedious editing.
Didn't they wear white coats?
Yeah,
Because they were dealing with the film and chemicals.
can't get fingerprints on it. I wonder how many editors out there like messed up some big director's movie by accident by putting your finger or miscut.
No, and movies do have. That reminds me of Quentin Tarantino. One of his films, he needed it to look more. Wasn't it that
Yeah,
driver one?
I know what you're talking
that
about.
stunt, that Kurt Russell in that crazy, and then they actually they went and they physically, like on purpose, like scratched and thingied the film so that, because if you do that to the film when you watch it, you can see the scratches on it. That's why there were scratches on films in those days. Now we think it's just an effect.
Back old practical effects.
No, they were like, okay, guys, we need to mess it up, but we can't cover Kurt Russell's face. Then someone's like, I think I just
cut the frame out.
oops.
It's only one frame. It's only one frame, you know.
No, do you see?
So you'll
They
notice.
take a nail. Kurt Russell's gone forever.
Sure. Anyway,
Anyway,
back in the day,
yeah. So this film, yeah, it's an interesting watch. It's an experience.
we watched it. It's a weird take from because it's like people have seen it. Why would they want to watch our movie show now to like listen to?
Oh no, how many people have seen this movie?
I watched it like a lot. So
But you see, I haven't.
I was excited to watch because I was like, oh yeah, I remember that film. Oh, gotta watch it again. And then I was watching with my kids. And my kids were like, and I was like, don't worry, it's not real. It's not real.
In fact, no, Ryan, all the previous times you said that in a Tim Burton film, you lied. Because the chances are it was real because he does everything practically, you know what I'm saying? Whereas with this film, it wasn't real. They had Arlem involved.
It is quite haunting though, the aliens.
Yeah, no, this film isn't a kid's I wouldn't classify this as a kid's movie.
Because when I was like, oh guys, you guys are gonna enjoy this. It's gonna be so funny. I mean, listen to the aliens. And then you see the way they fry
Yeah.
them, and then you're like,
and shame, they like kill animals and stuff, which is traumatizing, especially for kids. And
go a bit
also
far.
there's a lot of like sexual
yeah.
innuendos.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is definitely not a children's
Yeah.
movie, in my personal opinion. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird film. It's an experience. If you like watching movies because there's people like me and Ryan who will watch a film, even if it's not the best film, but it's like an experience and, just because we like films, and then this is a good film to watch. If you're into, I don't know what the word is, like you want to watch something because it's good. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think then this is the film for you. Yeah, this is more like a funny, it's comedy, and it's like where a whole lot of actors want to do something crazy in their career.
I feel like a lot of people are gonna talk during the watching of this film.
Yeah.
And laugh and stuff.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, yeah. And I think like the actors that were involved had a lot of fun doing it, and it was a break from their normal characters.
How much depth was there to this film?
No, there's not depth.
There was no depth.
The only thing is, it kind of like, it's also a mockery of like politics in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Because the American, like the president's on, and he's like, and it's like the general guy's like, let's fry them. We're gonna get our tanks. Just gonna shoot them.
Which they should have done.
They're gonna die, and they're like, no, no. And then like the whole thing happens where they like kill like a whole lot of crowd, and they're like, maybe it was just a misunderstanding.
It was the bird. They didn't.
They
like
don't
it.
like birds.
No,
and then
no,
they
the
get
bird
them back
is the meaning
again.
of war.
And then didn't they try again?
Yeah, and then that time Natalie Portman was like, I'm guessing it wasn't the bird.
And then it happens. It's just like,
You know, one thing I was wondering about was, you know, that they created that machine that interpreted what the aliens were saying. But whenever that machine was around, the aliens were always like, we come in peace.
Yeah.
I was figuring out, were the aliens lying, or was the machine inaccurate in interpreting the
oh wait, that's I've never thought about it that
Yeah.
way. That's,
like which, because it could go either way.
I mean, how did they know how to interpret?
Yeah, that's the thing.
But that's just like in filmland. It's just like
Yeah.
yeah. It just
Look,
happened.
they did know that they breathe nitrogen, which is why, like, for example, Martian girl chewing gum, because the chewing
But
gum.
even that, like the first time. I mean, what was the first time that they saw them? They just saw the when that main dude came on screen, and there was that, you know, and then like suddenly all these facts came out. Like they knew everything about the alien from that one small
But
picture.
I think it was also like a mockery of like.
It was a mockery.
Yeah, it was.
I also felt like it was mockery. Like they had the diagram and the organs and everything.
Isn't this called a parody? Isn't that what a parody is? I think this. So there's a style of film where they, like, you know, the scary movies. It's where they're taking like film, like things that happen in every film, and they either exaggerate it or they mock it.
That's how I saw it. Yes.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's what they were.
Yeah.
They were doing with this.
Agreed. That's what it was.
So it was.
So I guess this was Tim Burton's funny, comical side.
Yes. Yeah, a parody is an imitation of the style of a particular artist, or genre with deliberate exaggeration for comic effect. I feel like this was his parody.
Yes.
Yeah. That is exactly what Tim Burton did, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, what's incredible is the amount, like the big names that wanted to hop on. And you know what this movie reminded me of? I don't know if you remember that movie that came out on Netflix called Don't Look Up. It had Timothée Chalamet, it had Jennifer Lawrence, I think it had Leonardo DiCaprio, I said to be corrected there, but it had a whole lot of big actors, and it was also about this alien that was coming, but there it was also a parody where they were mocking like politicians, and they were mocking, I don't know if that one, that one was, I remember thinking that one was dumb. We did do it on the movie show. Yeah. I think that's kind of like this, But Tim Burton still puts everything into his films, so... How this movie came about was there were these cards that came out, I think, in the 1960s called, they were made by a chewing gum company. There were 60 cards in a deck, and they were called Mars Attacks, and it literally was images coming from this film.
Sounds like something Tim Burton would have.
And then Tim Burton, what he did was at the time they were actually discontinued because the parents and teachers weren't happy with these cards being created for children, which I actually agree with. But then another range came out called Dinosaur Attacks, but then they rebrought this one out. But what Tim Burton and the writers actually did was, I thought it was very clever. They took the 60 cards and then they kind of created a storyboard. So they looked at each of the images and then decided like how they'd bring this image to life in the film. So like the one image was a dog being lasered, and then like that happened in the film. Another image was Martian Girl, and then so it was they like created the movie using those 60 cards. And
strange. Yeah. Very strange.
It is very strange. I was not for the dog being killed personally.
Dog's still alive.
And the fact that the way the movie started with the cows.
That was a card, yeah.
It was definitely a card.
Yeah.
So that was Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Ryan got in tune with his childhood. I remembered VHS tapes.
Yes.
So this one took us back.
Still got a machine. Still got it.
We might actually have ours as well. Let's go look for it.
Hey.
Those things come in handy at times.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm sure you have footage from like family, or was that just my family?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would record
Yeah,
on that.
every family had
and then
like
you'd
their
have
old
to
camera.
take it off
Yes.
and convert it.
So like if you want to watch my parents' like wedding or whatever, then go on a VHS tape.
That was it.
So this has been the movie show.
On Active TV. Cheers.
Peace.
The end.